At the beginning of this year, we embarked on a journey exploring what our church might look like if we were to become a community of radical belonging. We recognised that there were 6 core areas where societies tend to exclude people. They are disability, poverty, mental health, sexuality, gender and race. And it was race and ethnicity that we began to have a conversation about in March, before the coronavirus hit. And today it seems timely to start talking about race again. We may be shocked by what we're seeing in the US at the moment. And although there is no part of me that believes looting and rioting is ever right, after 401 years of oppression, I can understand the hurt, the pain and the sheer exhaustion of our black brothers and sisters. Their voices must be heard. I firmly believe that as a church, if we are to be like a city on a hill, we must stand with the oppressed. Today in the UK, we have our own inequalities. If you are black, you are twice as likely to be overlooked in a job application as someone who is white. 3 times more likely to be treated as a shoplifter. Imagine how that feels. 40 times more likely to be stopped and searched by the police. 3 times more likely to end up in the criminal justice system. 70 times more likely to be abused on public transport. Humiliation. And disproportionately more black people are dying from the coronavirus than white. Racism is systemic in our culture and society. Whether we want to hear this or not, we in the UK are living in a society of white supremacy. And as the body of Christ, we, the church, must stand with those who are deeply affected by racism. If we remain quiet, even when we see something that is wrong, we become complicit with the evil itself. In Acts, there is a story about Paul and his travelling companion Silas. Now, they had been imprisoned, and whilst they were in jail, there was a huge earthquake, and suddenly the doors of the jail flung open. What would you have done? I would have run, I think. But they didn't. They stayed put and they sung praises to God. So much so that the jailer and his whole household were saved. It's a great story. But the story doesn't end with them skipping out of jail. In fact, it ends with Paul saying this: "They have beaten us in public, uncondemned men who are Roman citizens. And they've thrown us into prison. And now they're just going to discharge us in secret? Certainly not. Let them come and take them out of themselves." As a Roman citizen, Paul was incensed at his civil rights being trampled on. He wouldn't allow this just to be swept under the carpet. It was unjust and it needed to be brought out into the open. When we don't call out injustice, when we allow people's civil rights, their right to be deemed a human being equal with any other, we side with the system. Jesus said these words: "Woe to you, teachers of the law and Pharisees, you hypocrites! You give 1/10 of your spices, mint, dill and cumin, but you have neglected the most important matters of the law: justice, mercy and faithfulness. You should have practiced the latter without neglecting the former." We cannot be followers of Jesus and not call out racism where we see it, and stand shoulder to shoulder with our black brothers and sisters. If we don't, what kind of faith do we have? Why not join in a conversation, perhaps on a church WhatsApp group? And peace and love to you, and God bless you today.